Hello dear friends, long time no see. I thought in this video I would show you the makeup that I was wearing over exam season and my kind of recent makeup routine, as well as answering some questions from a Q&A that I said I would do ages ago. Thank you so much for sending in those questions, by the way. I had not forgotten. I did actually film that video and edit it, but it was way too long. It was like 25 minutes long, so I thought that's not going to be very interesting to watch. So I'm going to try and keep this short and snappy in comparison, but still answer your lovely questions. So yeah, I'm just going to jump straight on into it. I don't feel like I need makeup, especially, you know, when your time's short and you're stressed, but I do feel like putting your, you know, having a makeup routine in the morning for some people, me included, it kind of adds a bit of normality to the day and it makes me feel ready to face whatever's coming at me. The day before my last exam I was also really quite ill. I don't get ill very often, so when I do it knocks me out of sorts, but my sinuses I had a very bad headache. Great timing, but yeah, if I sound a bit nasally, that would be why. I've already prepped my skin, so this is what I was using over exam season as a moisturiser. It's just a Gradual tan that I've talked about quite a lot. Highly recommend, makes your skin really soft. To get a bit of sun protection at the same time, I mixed in this Green People SPF, which also says it's a natural tan accelerator. I'm all about the tanning at the moment, I'm a big fan. Speaking of, this is something that I've been using more recently, but it's the Face Tan Water by Ecotan. Very nice, I like this a lot. So yeah, a combination of a kind of facial toner and SPF and fake tan. For my base I was using this oat milk foundation just because it's nice and natural, it lets my skin breathe and I really like it. Got a whole video on it which I'll link somewhere if you want to see a bit more information about it, but I'm just going to pop this on as I would usually. And shall we answer a question? I'll list all the products that I use in this video, or I have been using, down below in case you're interested or in case I forget to talk about anything. But I remember when I filmed this video last time I found it quite difficult to multitask doing the old makeup and concentrating on answering questions to the best of my ability at the same time, so we'll see how this goes. So the first question is by Brown Bunny Melly and she says, who is your ultimate celebrity crush? Mine is Seth Rogen for some reason. Seth Rogen, interesting, an interesting choice. Mine is not Seth Rogen, although I did watch Bad Neighbours 2 the other day and I kind of see what you mean, I see what you mean. My ultimate celebrity crush. See, the thing is, I pretty much fancied a boy, a celebrity boy of some sort, from the age of about 6 years old. It started off with Charlie from Busted and ever since then it's just spiraled from band member to band member. I would say the most recent male that I quite admire is Jack O'Connell. Oh, he's just, I mean, he's a beautiful specimen, but he also seems like a really nice guy. He's an actor, if you haven't heard of his name before. He just seems really down to earth and he's from Derby, which is near Nottingham, and I really like his accent. So yeah, I would say Jack O'Connell. But I mean, there's been a fair few celebrity crushes in my time. The next question is by Ethical M and she says, favourite type of makeup product? And she also asks, favourite skincare step? My favourite type of makeup product is probably lip products. Speaking of, I'm going to put my lipstick on next. After I've done my base, I let it sit for a bit on my skin and settle a little bit, and I'll either do my brows, which I've already done off camera, or, oh, I broke it. I must have melted in my bag. Darn it. When you don't live in a hot climate, you don't think about makeup melting, but it does. But this is my favourite lipstick. I've used it in videos before. It's the 100% pure lipstick in Foxglove. But yeah, my favourite makeup products are probably either lip products or I do like an eyeliner. I haven't been wearing eyeliner that much recently, but eyeliner is typically my thing. You know, when I was in secondary school, I used to wear kohl liner with no mascara. I mean, it wasn't, I don't know if I carried it off. It wasn't a look. I don't know why I did that. I remember I used the Rimmel kohl pencil, not cruelty free, but I used the Rimmel black kohl pencil, just drew a line on the top, and then a little bit underneath, and kind of smudged it all out with my finger, going for that Avril Lavigne sort of grunge Effie from Skins look. Don't think it really worked, but I do love an eyeliner and a winged liner. Big fan. In terms of skincare, I love facial oils. I feel like it's the act of massaging it in. It's just very soothing. It's really therapeutic. I love using a facial oil that has a scent to it. Maybe it's got essential oils in. I like ones that come in a rollable because that, again, it's like the action of massaging your face. And actually, when my sinuses were really blocked up and painful before my last exam, like I mentioned, I was looking up ways to unblock my sinuses and it came up with this massage thing that you do. Basically, well, I mean, I'll link it down below if you're interested, but it really worked. I was so surprised, it really did work. And I mean, I learned a lot about sinuses that day. I didn't learn a lot about things for my exam the following day, which probably could have been productive, could have been useful, but yeah, it's crazy how you know, using more natural methods can actually help in a lot of cases. Not all cases, but you know, sometimes it's the simple things do really work. Nadia from Not So Quiet Girl asks, can you, oh, did I mention, I'll link anyone who's got a channel or a blog that's asked me a question, or an Instagram account that's cruelty free, you know, I will link that down below, because lots of these people have really, really good blogs and channels, including Nadia, so yeah, definitely check that out if you're in the market for some new cruelty free bloggers. But she says, can you talk to us a bit about the beautiful house you film from? Is it your childhood home? I think you mentioned once that your mum had done a lot of work on it to get it how it is today. Would love to hear more about that if that's not too personal. I just really love your home. That's very sweet of you to say. That's not too personal at all. Thank you. I'll definitely pass on the message to my mum, because she loves it when she gets compliments, like on my Instagram or in one of my videos. If someone gives the aesthetic a compliment, she laps up the attention. She asked me the other day, there was this long silence, we were both in the kitchen, and she just said, turned to me and said, how do I get more followers on Instagram? Yes, of course, I will talk to you a bit about that. I'm just going to contour my face a little bit. This house was an absolute dump, for, you know, want of a better phrase. Honestly, it was gross when we first got it. There was bits of car everywhere, like in the garden. The garden was, I mean, it was fun when you were younger, because obviously it was this massive overgrown jungle, but also there were massive canisters and shards of glass and metal sort of scattered about. So not so child friendly. The house itself was, it's a bungalow, it's not a house. Yeah, it wasn't the best. And my parents worked very, very hard to get the house and to build the extension, because it was a lot smaller. Like the room I film in now, me and my brothers used to live in. So this bed, there was a 3 bunk bed. So no, it wasn't like 3 stories, it was a double bed at the bottom where my brothers would sleep, and then on the top would be me, like this little single bed. But this room is not very big for 3 kids. But yeah, my mum is very good at design, interior design. She's got an eye for it. She's got a knack for it. I feel like she should have gone into that. She's like the ideas man. She comes up with these things, and then my dad is really good at DIY. So together they make the perfect team. For example, so a lot of his stuff is secondhand, but like this, the tug and groove here, my mum painted it. My dad actually made this from wood. My mum made this headboard, I don't know if you can see, but this headboard at the back. Oh no, actually I think we got the headboard from the dump, the actual solid part of it, but the cover she made. She's really good at sewing as well, so she's very crafty. She's a very talented lady. She made my curtains. My dad made the pelmet in my room, the sort of runner for the curtains. And it's kind of just normal for me. Like my friends used to come over when I was younger, and they'd say like, wow, your house is so cool, like everything matches, all the rooms match together. And I mean, when it's all you've ever known, you don't realise some people's houses don't match. Not everything is painted white and shabby cheeked. But yeah, it's been a long work in progress, and it's like their little project, you know. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned this no, I don't think I have. This Chloe Morello and Pixie collaboration is so nice. You get 3 blushes, which are the stars of the show. I'll just put this one in the middle on. And they were designed when she was prepping for her wedding, so they've all got sort of bridal names, and they're very wedding appropriate. I feel like they've just got a lovely sheen to them. You also get 6 shimmers, which are multi-purpose highlighter eyeshadow shades, and 3 eyebrow shades, which are okay. They're a bit dry. I mean, I'll probably do a full video on that, but yes, I've been wearing the blush in the middle quite often of late. I'm also going to pop the peachy blush in my crease as eyeshadow. And let's answer another question. So this is from Marley.Sue, and she says, what is your favourite part about your major? I wish my school offered more about sustainability and business. And also, what is your dream job? She says, I love your vids, you're so sweet and honest, continue keeping it real. Oh, that is so sweet. I haven't read these questions in ages, so I've forgotten what was in them, but thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you to say. So this was obviously sent when I was still doing my degree. I finished now. I found the consumer behaviour and marketing, you know, a lot of stuff with consumers and consumerism and sustainability. That was my main area of interest. We did a project last term on, which was a group work project. I did the vast majority of it, but that was because it wasn't, you know, doing it in a begrudging way. I genuinely really enjoyed it. It was basically, you had to take a imaginary fashion brand that was failing. It's kind of like an M&S sort of department store fashion and homeware brand that wasn't very ethical, wasn't very sustainable, and was kind of failing in terms of sales, and you had to make a strategy document about what you would do to get them back on track. It was basically making a business plan, and I took on a lot of work from that, and I was actually quite proud. We did really well in it. So really any module to do with sustainability I was interested in, but actually more of the sort of theoretical backbone to a lot of business practice. The stuff about capitalism was really interesting as well, because I'd never done anything on that, and it was very enlightening. You know, a lot of the stuff was very complex, but still interesting. And my dream job, okay, so I've wanted to be many things in my time, so I feel like dream job is quite a big question. When I was younger I wanted to be a writer or an artist, that old nut. But then I also wanted to be a penguin keeper and help penguins at the zoo and rescue penguins. I also wanted to work for a donkey charity, because I used to see this advert about donkeys working in really hot countries, and it made me cry every time. Then I also wanted to be a window dresser, which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically visual merchandising. You know, someone who does the big displays on Oxford Street, you know, does the shop windows and arranges things. I just like arranging things, and I think that would be a really cool job. Quite a niche market. I don't know if it's a seasonal kind of job, and I don't have any connections to that industry, so that dream sort of faded away. But more recently I've obviously got a lot more interested in video. I'd love to make documentaries or be a director, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I mean, the ultimate dream for me would be have my own cruelty-free brand, an ethical fashion brand, because I love the idea. I haven't thought it through, the actual logistics of it, but I would love the idea of sort of every few products sold saves an animal from animal testing. I don't know how that would work. I have a lot of ideas, but I don't put a lot of them into practice. This is my problem. Does anybody else do that? I've got many ideas, but just not the means nor the willpower to actually put them into practice. This is starting to dry out. It's actually a really nice mascara, but it's looking a bit clumpy. I'd like to do something creative and something that helps animals or people or the environment, basically. So anything that fills that criteria, that is my dream. Some lip gloss. And this is the makeup look that I was wearing over exam season. I'll list all the products down below, again, if I missed out any shade names or anything like that. But yeah, it's actually really quick. I can do it in about 3 minutes, but it just seems like it took forever. Now just to finish off the last few questions. So my friend Kate sent me quite a few questions, so I'm going to do these in quick fire rounds. She said, do you believe in the afterlife? I don't really believe either way. I like the idea of reincarnation, but you know, ghosts and stuff, I don't. I mean, I'm undecided, to be honest. She also says, do you want to get married, and if yes, what would you want your first dance to be to? Yeah, I do want to get married, but I don't know about first dance, because it depends on who you're with. Isn't it supposed to be like your song that you dance to? So I really don't know. Depends who I'm with. I mean, I suppose I could find a song and try and make it our song. I really like Songbird by Fleetwood Mac. I think that's a very sweet romantic song. What's the nicest gift you've ever gotten? And I think she's asked this because it's probably one from her. Once she made me bunting, which I had up in my uni room. She embroidered my favourite lyrics onto this bunting, and it was beautiful. It was a very kind present. Oh, and also when I was about 15, 16, my friends got me Maccabees tickets. I couldn't afford to go. It was this special show to raise money for charity, and it was in a church in Hackney, I think, and it was such a good show. And I remember when they told me they got me tickets for my birthday, I just burst out crying. It was a really lovely and genuine surprise. Like, I had no idea at all. I think I might do another just separate Q&A video, because I feel like this video is dragging on and I don't want it to be as long as the past video I filmed. So the last one I'm going to answer is, what do you think your greatest strength is? And I would probably say creativity, because I feel like that's carried me in a lot of ways, you know, like throughout school. I don't know, Kate, what is my greatest strength? You tell me. Like I say, I'm going to leave it there. I'll list all the products I use down below. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you're doing well, and hopefully I shall catch you in my next one. Bye!